This has been tremendously valuable, and I've taken a lot of your time already, but I have just one last question for you.
Yeah, no, and then we'll run and go enjoy the conference, but yeah.
So in terms of group coaching.
Yes.
So when you're working with individual video creators, there's usually, maybe you'll run into a scenario where people are creating similar types of content, but it's not as big of a deal in terms of competitiveness. But when you're working with companies, you may run into a situation where there's competing companies. So how do you deal with that?
Well, that's why group coaching is not for the companies. Group coaching is the B2C play for professionals. And that's why you probably would brand it as something ... for professionals.
Okay.
In the branding of that subsection of your business as a service that's offered. And you identify in the marketing of it, the landing page, the sales page, the ads, that this is for professionals. And who's this for? This is for, this is for Jody, the real estate agent, and everything like that. This is for Jose, the electrician. This is for, you create the customer avatar for that to exclude that, and therefore that's why it's valuable. And for professionals is reflected in the price point, because it's not for the average consumer in that way. It's really only for a professional that's investing in themselves. And the thing is, if you're a professional and you're not investing out of your budget $250 to $300 every single month in your personal professional development, I think that you're not making an investment in the growth of your earning potential, because you have to raise your value. And the only way you can raise your value is through investment.
I agree. I mean, I spend that on even just books.
Exactly. So like I think that every working professional has to have a $300 to $500 a month, budget allocated for professional and personal development, because I think it's literally the only way to raise your value year after year, because you can't justify asking for a raise if you haven't added more value to the company, and you can't add more value to the company if you don't have a new skill set or a new idea or a new set of contacts or something. You have to be able to add value, and you can only do that by enhancing yourself. So I think that as an entrepreneur, you can only raise your prices in proportion to the value that you can deliver, and that either means doing more work or doing more meaningful work or more impactful work or a higher quality of work. And you can only do that or only accelerate that by investment. No return without investment.
Yeah, this is great. I have an idea for group coaching around video, but using video throughout different departments in an organization. So a lot of what I do is really focused on marketers, but I have worked with HR professionals, L&D professionals, and different departments within an organization.
Yeah, so expand that.
Group coaching.
So exactly. So the thing is, and then that's where there's no competitive overlap. And again, this is about resource and foundational strength and breaking down jargon and giving systems and processes and tools. And then there's an affiliate marketing component, because every resource that they need from a hardware standpoint is something that there's an affiliate link for. Everything from a software standpoint, a lot of those are software and service, revenue and perpetuity. So there's so much opportunity for you with building out a group coaching that addresses professionals and tradespeople.
Yeah, that's great. And there's so many tools that I just love, and I think adds a lot of value to any of these types of organizations, and I'm already evangelizing whether I get paid or not paid for it, so it would be great to have some affiliate links as part of that.
And from a cash flow standpoint, at $99, once you have 50 people, doing the math on that, that's really straightforward, because then you're at $5,000 a month in cash flow. And I know California sucks, but that's not bad. That's not bad to go to $5,000 a month in cash flow, $60,000 a year on this business model. Acquisition of 50 professionals, I don't think that's hard to do in a year, 12 people a month, and you have a strong network, and then you have events and conferences like this. That's part of the pool of where you're gonna pull from. So I think it's very practical to build a group coaching program like that, and I think it's scalable by less than 18 months, 2 years, 24 months to a six-figure business. I think on upfronts, it's about maybe 60,000 in the first year on upfronts. But when you combine the affiliate component and then an upsell to where maybe you can do one-on-one coaching on the B2C side of the professional though, now you could probably absorb another 20 or 30,000 on the individual calls, because you could price that at a rate that makes sense. And so then you can make X amount of money per month based on how many hours a month you allocate to calls and how many slots you can fill. And so maybe there's another $3,000 to $5,000 just in the one-on-one calls. And then you still have all your B2B, that's just the B2C side.
Yeah.
That's why I like you splitting the brand into here's a B2C play, and then here's a B2B play, volume, and then this is dollars. This is volume of sales.
Yeah.
This is high ticket, lower volume, higher price. And so that's how you pull from both sides on that.
I love this. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think I kind of had an idea of like what the content strategy looked like and figuring out like some of the different components in terms of how we would make money. But this sort of gives me a better like cohesive strategy to all of this.
Yeah,
So it's pretty good.
everyone thinks that I'm the YouTube guy or a YouTube guru and everything like that. I'm actually the digital business guy. I'm actually the online business guy. I'm actually the empire building guy. I'm the, in my mind, I am in my mind, I'm evangelizing creative entrepreneurship. How can you take a creative or technical skill and then put that in a way that the market will accept to make the most money so that you can have creative freedom and control so that if you're making enough money, you can make that film you always wanted to make. If you're making enough money, you can go and take that vacation and go and take photos that you never have to post to Instagram, and just put them up in the house. That's what I do. Is I go and I take photos and I just hang them in the house and no one sees them on Instagram. It's funny. So but I think that financial freedom is predicated on using your creative and technical abilities in the 21st century to then be able to create value either in a direct-to-consumer world or in a B2B world, or ideally, in my opinion, both, if you're good enough, and you are good enough. So,
Yeah, this is awesome. Let's build an empire, not a channel.
Yeah, let's do it.